Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me just doing a full face of products, using products that I pretty much kind of forgot about or that I don't reach for that often. Yeah, I haven't used a lot of the things that I have right here in a minute, and I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to sit down and like kind of go through my stuff and use all of it again. So let's just go ahead and get started. Before we do so, don't forget to give the video a like if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so I guess let's start off with primer, and the one that I have just been letting sit there for like the longest time is the Faced Hangover primer. I pretty much gonna stop using this when I bought the First Aid Beauty one, and I do like it. I just like the First Aid Beauty one a lot more than this one, so kind of just forgot about it. I'm going to be using this, but I also want to try mixing it in with the Becca Backlight primer. I do use this pretty often, but I just want to mix it too. It's like it came out all dry. Almost out anyway, so I think I should just use this for a while until it's done and then just go back to my regular primers. And I'm just doing one pump and one pump as well of the Becca one. So I have like 3 other foundations that I usually reach for. The Tarte one that I really like, the YSL one, or usually my MAC one, Next to Nothing. But I also do have this Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I can't remember the last time I used it, just because I'm always reaching for something else. I do like the foundation, I just don't think it's my favorite one. So I kind of just let this one sit there, but I'm gonna use it because I mean it's like pretty full too, so. And I just got this, but I'm not sure if this is gonna match me all that well, so just in case, I have my NYX Pro foundation mixer, and this one is in the shade Olive. Just keep in mind, if you ever use this, keep in mind what kind of foundation you're using, because if it's a sheer one, this is gonna show up a lot more than if it's like a more full coverage foundation. So, and I did always find that this one was like a little too pink for me, so I am just gonna add a couple drops of this. Hopefully it's not too much. I'm gonna mix more foundation into it because this is a little too dark for me right now. Like I said before, this foundation is good and it has decent coverage. I just don't think it's like life-changing, so. So ever since I bought the Urban Decay Shade Shifter palette, I started using that to conceal my dark circles. But I'm gonna go back to my NYX dark circle corrector and just pop that on. I find that the tone of the other one is a little bit better for me than this one. This one's a little more, I think, lighter and more pink, and the other one's a little bit more peach. But it gets the job done, I suppose. I have 3 concealers that I haven't touched in a minute. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. This one burns the crap out of your eyes, so I stopped using it. I have the Morphe one. This is like super old in the shade Bare Skin. This one is like so dry and thick, and it just doesn't look, it's so pink too. I don't know why I bought this, or I don't know why I even wore it in the first place. This used to be the only concealer I had, so I used it all the time, but it's not even like a good shade for me. And then I have the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and a lot of people like this. I just don't think it's the best thing out there. It doesn't cover a whole lot, and I don't know, I don't really like the applicator. I like my Wet n Wild one a lot, and the other Maybelline Fit Me ones, those are really good too. So I always grab those instead of the 3 that I have right here. They just have been sitting there. I don't know if I should even put this near my eye, but we're gonna use this one. It's a little too light. Let's see how that. I don't know if it's because it's pretty old or what, but it doesn't blend out that nicely. And it's not even the right shade for me, I don't think. I am gonna have to highlight the rest of my face just so I don't look weird. Just a little bit. That is not the right shade at all. It's not horrible, but I think other concealers that I have cover my dark eyes, or my dark circles, way better than this one, so not my favorite. I only have one loose setting powder, and that's the Maybelline Fit Me one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with that. I find that that concealer looks pretty dry under my eyes too, so I'll just go with it. It looks so cakey. I'm not going to contour or anything today. I'm just going to go ahead and bronze, and I haven't used this bronzer in a minute. But I think it's pretty perfect for summer. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade 05. Actually, I think I'm going to use this one recently. I feel like I used this in a video before, but other than that, I don't really reach for it. I have nothing against it. It's just, I don't always want this shimmery bronze, so. And depending on the time of the year, I think I can look a little bit too red on my skin, so. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild color icon in the shade Apri-Cot in the middle. I honestly did forget I had this because I always reach for one of my Tarte ones, or yeah, that's pretty much all I use. My Tarte blushes or my Milani ones, the baked ones. I like those a lot, so I haven't touched this in a while. It is really pretty. I just forgot that I actually had it, so. Oh, for highlight, I have this Becca Opal highlight, and it's like the little tiny samples. Not sample, but like the travel size. I have quite a few highlighters that I don't really reach for. This one's was one of them, not because I don't like it, just because I'm really into two other ones right now, the NARS one and my Mary Luminizer that I always use. But I've been going to those two highlighters lately. So there's this one that I have, Wet n Wild. I have another highlighter by the Balm that it's more pink, so I don't really grab it, but I do like it. Just never really reach for it. I have some e.l.f. ones that are really good. Like, I think the ones that I have are good. I just always go for the NARS one or the Mary Luminizer, so. But we're gonna be using Opal today. And I actually do like this one a lot. Honestly, I'm not really liking how that foundation is looking right now. Maybe this is why I stopped using it, because I like the other ones way better than this, but it's kind of looking a little bit powdery and textury and a little bit dry. Or maybe it was the primer. I haven't used those primers, and I haven't used the Too Faced primer in a while too, so. So we're gonna just be moving on to eyes. And I have two palettes that I never reach for, honestly. And yeah. And it's kind of sad because I bought them both, like, and I kind of had to wait for them to be back in stock because I really wanted them. And I don't know, I was really excited when I got them, but I barely use them and I don't just reach for them at all. This is the 35O and the 35F by Morphe. I think we all know what they look like. We have the really warm shades over here and more purpley kind of gold and purple shades over here. What I do like about this palette is that it has colors that I don't really have in other palettes, like the purples and stuff, more like cranberry tones kind of. And I do like that it's mostly shimmers because I feel like any other palette that you buy is going to have matte shades, like basic matte shades, at least most palettes. So you can always reach for those, but I just like that they're mostly shimmers. So I think I'm just going to be trying to do something more on the gold side. Maybe use that shade right there. And I will try to use both palettes. So I'm going to go into 35O first. I don't think these palettes are the best. I don't think they're bad. I just also don't think they're the best eyeshadows out there. Especially when you compare the price and you can get really nice product from ColourPop as well. They're affordable and they're really good quality in my opinion. So I would suggest getting ColourPop over Morphe, I believe. My brushes are so dirty. I've been meaning to clean them for like the longest time and I just don't get to it. Okay, I think this palette's like a little bit more powdery than I remember. Oh, this is messy. I'm gonna take my first brush and blend that out. Whenever I make a mistake, I just go back with my sponge and try to fix it. I'm in the 35F now. And I think I'm gonna be going into one of the matte shades at the bottom. I also like that you can work with this palette because it has the row of mattes at the bottom, so you can always go into those. I don't think it's a good enough range because towards the middle they all kind of just blend in together like the same kind of tone, but it's there. So I'm gonna go with a more bronzy looking one. It almost looks like an olive green, but it has that bronzy tone. I don't know. This is not the best eye look I've done, but I'm gonna go back to the 35O palette and try to deepen out the outer corner a little bit more. They're not as pigmented as other palettes, I don't think. I'm gonna take a small brush and just smoke out the lower lash line. Super lightly, nothing too heavy. I'm gonna highlight my brow bone with the first shade over here. On second thought, I'm just gonna do that with this shade from the 35F palette. The other one was like a matte white. And this one seems too shimmery though. I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with Opal. I'm gonna curl my lashes, and for mascara, I'm gonna be using what am I doing? For mascara, I'm going to be using the Essence Lash Princess. I haven't used this mascara in like months and months. I do have other mascaras as well that I haven't used in a while, but this one is my favorite out of all the other ones that I have. And I think it's like the best drugstore mascara that you can get. And probably the cheapest. It's probably like $4. When you first get it, it is pretty wet, and mine is looking pretty dry right now, so we'll see if that actually even works. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to use my Maybelline Total Temptation, but hopefully it does. If you have a new tube of this one, I think it's we're gonna work out better for you if you like wipe off a lot of the excess, because the more you have on the wand, I feel like the more clumpy your lashes will get, so definitely wipe it off. Or I also read someone say once that they just left it out open overnight and that it was fine, so. It's a little dry, but I think it's gonna be okay. It literally makes your eyelashes look like you're wearing false lashes. So I just realized that the lens it was on manual focus, not autofocus, so I don't know if the video is going to be in focus. So I just have lips left, and this was kind of tough because I do have a lot of lipsticks. My MAC ones especially, those go back a couple years, and I don't always get to use all of them. So I just picked one that would match my look the most, as well as hasn't been used in a while. So I'm just gonna line my lips with my MAC lip pencil, the shade Dervish, and this is my Smashbox lipstick in the shade Nylon Nude, and it's like a really pale nude. So I'm gonna throw another product on top of this one. I do use this like pretty often, but I'm just gonna use it anyway. This is the NARS Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Stripped. The lips are looking a little pale. I don't really like how the lipstick looks with the eyes, so I'm gonna throw on something else. So a while back, my favorite thing to do was, my favorite lip combination was the Milani pencil. See how much I've used this? The Milani pencil in the shade 04. And they're really creamy, really nice. And I would throw this one on top, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spray my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I always grab my Flower Beauty one, or lately my MAC one too, with the shimmery, the Gold Plus. But yeah, I only have a little bit left, so I should probably just use it up and throw that out. This is not spraying right. I forgot to do my eyebrows. So for eyebrows, I am going to be using my It Cosmetics pencil and my Benefit Gimme Brow. I do use this all the time, and I only have this pencil and the Anastasia one, so it's not like I need to like dig through products. But gonna be using this one and this. Anyway, this is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.